Good morning, good afternoon, and possibly good evening. This is Alvin Taveras, your Southwest Florida Realtor, and I have a very special guest in the building. We have Jeff Tamarillo, and you do so many things within Southwest Florida. You're a broker for Steelbridge Realty. You are also the founder and president of Southwest Florida REIA. I guess, Jeff, to get the ball rolling, can you talk to us a little bit about the Southwest Florida REIA? Who tends to join, and what are some of the benefits that they receive?
Well, it's a pretty eclectic membership all across the board. Irony is it was a bunch of us were having lunch in August of '04 and thought it would be fun to have a club here like they do in Dade and Broward, because we used to drive over for those meetings. And so that's how we kind of came up with the idea. Our first meeting, I think it was November of '04. We've been meeting ever since. That's 16 years ago. It's hard to believe. Right. It's really just big mastermind collaboration. We have meetings. Because of the pandemic, we're doing Zoom meetings. We're probably going to go back to physical meetings again pretty quick. We will maintain the Zoom component. If you're interested, just go to the website, SWFLREIA.com.
Right. And I should mention that I am a member. That's how we met, through the Southwest Florida REIA. It's a great way to meet lenders, meet other realtors, find out who's doing business in the region, and it's a really great way to connect overall. Now, one of the things that we have in common is that we're both very active in Cape Coral. You do a great deal of land acquisition and land development. Can you talk to us about what makes Cape Coral special from a land acquisition perspective?
Well, on the land side, it's interesting because you've got really three basic types of lots in residential, which is dry, saltwater, freshwater.
Yep.
You've got the modality of assessments, and then each location in the Cape has a very specific use. Like, if you're a boater, Southeast, Southwest Cape's amazing.
Yep.
If you're a fisherman, Northwest Cape's a little better because you can get the Pine Island Sound. The freshwater canals are cool, and there's some that you can put a power boat in. There's some you can't.
Yep.
It's a lot cheaper. The nice thing about a canal is you don't really have a neighbor to the rear. Like, I live on a canal in North Fort Myers. We're 6 houses off the river. Right. And it puts the neighbor far enough away that it's kind of like not really having a neighbor. It's somebody you wave to from about a half a block away. So it gives you a little more privacy living on a canal. And it's really a kind of a planned community where they dug all these canals. I mean, the irony is, back in the 50s, everybody in Lee County was laughing at these crazy guys from New Jersey that were paying people to run bulldozers and dig canals. And now it's, big city, 190,000 people live there.
Right, and it is incredibly rare to just be able to have a boat permanently in your backyard and go to the Gulf of Mexico. If you were to be on the East Coast, there's very few lots available. On this side, we tend to have plenty of options. Can you talk to us about kind of what you're seeing as far as a demographic shift and kind of what makes Cape Coral special from that perspective?
Well, Cape Coral, you've got New York, New Jersey have always had a big footprint here.
Yep.
You've got a lot of Germans. I, at one point, was the manager for a German-based, more like director of operations, a German-based real estate brokerage. And it really hit me. Every German knew where Cape Coral was. Most of them didn't know where Fort Myers was. And they flew into Fort Myers.
Yep.
So particularly in Europe, Cape Coral is really on the wall and they know where it is. And then you've got another, definitely an inflow of population that are coming here from Dade and Broward.
Yes.
Because they can cash out of, say, Weston for $700,000 now, and they can buy a pretty awesome house for $275,000. So, and we mentioned waterfront. A waterfront on that coast is extremely expensive.
Absolutely.
To where, they can cash out of their 3-2 in an HOA community and come over here and buy a saltwater access pool home for, in some cases, half the price. And thanks to, we really got behind remote working. We're seeing a lot more Steelbridge on the traditional brokerage side. I'm seeing a lot more people that are, we had a guy ping us this weekend over a rental we have listed that is going to move here from Orlando because he can work remotely. It's a given in his company. And, you know, they don't have to fight with I-4 here. I mean, even on its worst day, I-90 or I-75 on its worst day can't compete with I-4 at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of benefits to being here versus being somewhere particularly that's congested and actually much more expensive.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. And one of the things that makes Cape Coral so unique is just the water. We have the mouth of the Caloosahatchee River flowing through the southern end of Cape Coral, and then you have the Gulf of Mexico to the western front.